This is the Leo Climaco podcast.
Can you describe your avatar? If you had to say, like, this is the ideal person that will buy from us, who's that person?
Well, our avatar is anyone that goes to a Shake Shack or a Five Guys.
So someone who is looking for a quality sandwich in a more gourmet type of an environment.
Yes.
Right? Not that fast food chain idea.
Yeah, because we're not even fast food. We cook it to order.
Right.
So it takes a little bit longer than you would get at any other fast food chain. We put the food on the grill as it's ordered. So it's like a sit down restaurant. All of our stores have hoods and real kitchens, kitchen equipment, and fryers. So another thing that's different from us and everybody else is we sell fries. So instead of giving you a bag of chips, you're getting a cup full of fries.
That's awesome. Tell me who your mentors were growing up. Who, clearly your parents, but who other than them helped you navigate this entrepreneurship world?
I would have to say, I read a lot of Elon Musk, a lot of those guys, and Bezos, and you read their stories, and to me, their stories is how they had a vision. They had a vision to start with. They dropped out of school because school prepares you to work.
Yes.
Turns you into a laborer.
100%.
Because if you look at all the entrepreneurs, they all dropped out of school.
High school dropout.
Half a semester in college. But they all dropped out of school. Yeah. So growing up, I would just I wasn't really paying attention to the Amazon story. I was paying attention to the decisions he made in the early stages that pushed him on that path. And when you look at all of them, they all dropped out of school. They all had a vision of bigger things.
Yes.
And they all wanted to change the world. They dreamed big. How are you going to dream big when you have a job that's 8 to 10 hours a day that teaches you a task?
So hard.
And you have to follow it all day long. Your dreams are done.
Mm-hmm. And you leave there.
That inspired me to constantly focus on the big picture.
Did you ever hold a 9-to-5?
A couple times.
Yeah. What'd you do?
So I did. When I opened my business, all my friends became engineers, and they're probably going to watch this and go, I can't believe he's telling this story right now. Hey, so they became engineers, because I lived in Michigan, so that was the thing. You go to college, you work for General Motors.
Detroit, yep.
So we start going to Monday night football games, and they're talking all this college lingo around me. The few 2-3 words they learned, and I'm looking. They're looking at me like the black sheep now because I'm the business owner. That probably makes 5 extra zeros next to, they're probably not going to make those zeros.
Yeah.
But they're looking at me like I'm the black sheep. So I go get a job at General Motors in the basement where you clean up the eraser marks.
Okay.
A year later, I'm in charge of the General Motors platform in the Corvette at $200 an hour.
Wow.
And showed it to them, showed them the checks, and I looked at them and I go, perseverance, my friend, perseverance. And the ability and the desire to achieve. And I kept that job for 2 years, but it was just more to prove to my friends.
Hold on.
I don't need to be the engineer. And I go, by the time you guys get to these checks, you'll be 70.
Wow.
And I learned, so when I was there, I paid attention. And I learned and networked, and I said, well, what's like the most important job here at General Motors? They're like, well, we have this private room where it's called Class A surfacing, where they teach you how to create the data in the computer by dots in mathematics.
Wow.
So after hours, I would go there, and I became friends with the 50 people in the company that only knew how to do that.
Wow.
I became friends with them, and they taught me all that. That 3-4 months later, like, we can't let you go now. we need you to become part of the team
That's
because you know too much.
crazy.
And it would be like, imagine like, so the Corvette that's out now, I worked on that like 25 years ago. At least, you know, the
Really?
lines, the math, the,
Yes.
but I didn't like the job. I was never a job guy.
There's so much to unpack there. I'm going to start by, you got a job for 2 years to prove your friends wrong.
Yeah. On
That's
and
incredible.
and I kept both jobs. So I kept my business that I would go to
Yes.
work to. After my 9 to 5, I would go sell ice cream.
That's
7 days a week.
incredible. Where does that drive come from? To prove these motherfuckers wrong. It's incredible.
Proving them wrong was one, and then two, it's like it's like going to the gym.
Right.
So mentally, you have to go through stages in your life so you could persevere.
Yes.
So what it did for me is it made me stronger. And while I was there, I opened up 2 more businesses. I decided to teach people what I knew how to do, and I opened up a CAD class
Wow.
where I'm teaching them how to use the computer and design on the computer because nobody was doing that. So I had so many other business ideas that could support General Motors. And so I was doing all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, you know, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to go global, and I want to, you know, my goal is to get people to stop trading labor for dollars. When you become an entrepreneur, you buy your freedom.
For sure.
It might be harder, but you own your own freedom. To me, owning my freedom was the only goal I ever wanted in life. The ability to decide what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, with whom I'm going to do it, at whatever point in time I want to do it. You're in totally control of your life. Versus a job, you wake up every morning, I got to be there at 9. They tell you when you can go to the bathroom. They tell you it's
When you
all
can
day,
eat.
all day.
Yeah.
And then by the time you retire, you get cancer. You got another 5 years if you're lucky. Meanwhile, I mean, every 2 days I'm on vacation. I'm going on a cruise on Saturday. I went to Key West 2 days ago. Every 3 or 4 days, I move and I travel and I do my thing, but I still work harder than ever.